Hey guys, welcome back to CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, and we're going to take a look at some NBA player props and prize picks. There is a huge slate tonight, so a lot of information to dig through. Some of the teams like Portland, some of the Phoenix players, and Pelicans are not up yet. If Brandon Ingram is out, I would seriously take a look at the CJ McCollum points because that one should fly over. I really like them tonight. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some plays that popped on me on the cheat sheet. As always, we have our points, rebounds, assists, our PRA. We sort this high to low. We dig through the players. I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker today and not go through each individual one. If you've seen in any of our videos, you know how we utilize the sheet to find plays. I'm going to go right into the plays and kick some of these out. So one of the ones that jumped off is Rozier. We had him last night. He went over. So I like his points prop over 21.5. I mean, he's averaging 28 over the last 5 games. And look at this, 30, 31, 29, 33, and 4 of the last 5. I like the amount he's getting over. That gives us a little bit of a cushion from what he's been doing. I also like his points, rebounds, and assists over 30.5. I did 2 cards so far today. And one of them has Rozier points, and one of them has Rozier points, rebounds, and assist over. You can see he's been in the 40s, so that gives us a cushion, so we do like that. He's averaging 39.2 points, rebounds, and assist over the last 5 games, so he's someone that I do like. It is a tougher matchup against Boston, but I think that game goes over tonight. Typically, I do a lot of sports betting, and so when I see a lot of money moving towards an over, or if there's an over that I like, I typically want to focus on that game for some player props. The second guy is going to be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So one of the guys in the chat always bets his points first half prop, and it goes over. So he kind of popped up for me, so I was taking a look at this game. I think this Washington Clipper game could be a sneaky high total. It was only at 217.5 when I bet it this morning, and I think my cheat sheet has it pushing around 230. So this is some players that we want to target. So KCP is someone that's averaging 19.8 points over the last 5 games, and I like the cushion here. On March 4th against Atlanta, you can see he had 28 points. And then he had 24 against the Spurs. So he's got the ability to double this number. So either take his first half prop, or you can take 12.5 for the game. I'm just going to go 12.5 for the game because I want to be a little bit safer. But that's the second play that jumped out at me. The third play I like, and probably those 2 plus this one are my 3 favorite plays on the slate. So this was one of my cards. I just did a 3-leg power card. Is Kuzma, and it's kind of tough because he's usually up and down, but he's been on fire recently. I mean, pretty much anything you go, he's been involved in, but the one that jumped out at me was 4.5 assists. So taking a look at this, he's averaging almost 7 per game over the last 5, and over the last 2 games, he has 8 and 11. So just asking for 5 in a high-scoring game, that seems to be doable. Now, if you look at his other props, he's been over in his PRA in 5 straight games, averaging 42, so he's been cruising over that number. Fantasy score is kind of the same. Blocks and steals, he's been over. Points, he's been over in 5 straight, so he's been doing really well, except for rebounds, I guess. That one kind of drops down, but I like his assist. That's a sneaky game that we could get some action on. And let me scroll back over here. And then going down, another guy to take a look at, one is DeJounte Murray points. And so he's been over this in 4 of the last 5. I mean, he's consistently this mid to upper 20s. You know, he has a couple games where he'll slide down, but 26.4 average over the last 5. We only need 22 tonight against Toronto. I like that. Another one to take a look at is Shea. So Shea hit for us again last night, I believe. I had so many cards, I couldn't keep track of all of them. But 33, 33, 33, 29, 37. I mean, he's constantly in that low 30s, so 29.5 is kind of a high number, but it is going up against Minnesota, and I think he was getting close to hitting his number by halftime. And we also had him over when I attended the OKC game, and I mean, by halftime, he was already in the 20s and flying up, so I like him. He just loves to shoot the rock. And we talked about the McCollum's points over if Ingram's out. A couple that I pulled from Rotowire, I had to go through about 15 before I got any that I liked. Some of them I just thought were silly, but Carmelo over 4 rebounds. He's got 15 in the last 2 games with 7 and 8. So that's one that jumps out at me. Houston is one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA. So really 3 or less is what hurts us. And he can do it. He's got a 2 and a 3 here. But with his last 2 games, 7 and 8, I mean, they need a rebounder. So I like that one to slide over 4. I didn't think that was too bad. And then Scotty Barnes over 2.5 assists. That one jumped out at me. So this game should be fairly high scoring tonight if Toronto can get the head out of their butt. But over 2.5 assists, he's been averaging about 4 a game over the last 5. And then he's got 6 and 4 over the last 2 games. So hopefully he can keep that up. 2.5 seemed like a low number, but those 2 I pulled from Rotowire. And then one I'm going to go right back to that we had on yesterday's video is Wendell Carter Jr. rebound. So if Ingram plays, it will be a little bit more difficult for the rebounds, but this guy's just been an absolute monster. We talked about him yesterday, and he was one of the first legs of any of my cards to get over, and I was shocked because that was the one I was worried about a little bit. So over the last 5 games, he's got 12.8 rebounds per game. I mean, 12, 18, 12, and 12 over the last 4. And we only need 9 tonight. And again, we like the 0.0 because 9 gives us a push. So really, the odds of him having 8 is pretty small. I mean, it can happen, but unlikely. So those are the ones that we like tonight. So my favorite ones is going to be Rozier points over 21.5. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope points over 12.5. Kuzma over 4.5 assists, and then you can mix and match any of the others. And again, I'm waiting for some of the Portland players. Anthony Simmons, he shows up on the cheat sheet quite a bit. So does Brandon Ingram, but they're both questionable, so they haven't released anything on him yet. So keep an eye on those on Prize Picks. And as always, play with the sheet, see what you like, and good luck, guys.